Hello friends, I'm Franz Martin. Most people know me by Frenchie at FrenchieStamps.com. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And today I'm going to share with you how to make a triangle box. The box itself, it's very simple. You can make it pretty much your eyes closed. What the trick to this, it is the cover. So I'm going to share with you from start to finish how to make this box, but today we will do one with window in it. Like this is a birthday one that I done, and you see it's got the window there, so you can put lights in it like a luminaire. And that's what we're going to do today with the snowflakes. So it's going to be a festive little triangle box, that luminaire. So let's get started. First thing that we're going to need, it's a piece of, I'm going to say the measurement for the cardstock here. It is, I'm using Crinkle Tide. And this measure 9.5 by 5.5. You're going to need a piece that measure 4.78 by 4.25. And you will see a lot of the measurement that are like the 1/16 and all that. And if you're not familiar with all those measurements, I recommend a Victor Easy Reader ruler, or I don't know if it's other one that get the easy ruler, but this you get all the way to the 16 on it. So you get the 8, the 16, the 3/8, 5/8, and so on. And it's an easy tool. It's an awesome tool, I should say, for what we're going to make. And when it comes to triangle, we have to use those measurements. And then we're going to need a piece of this one measured 3 by 5/8. And also in Christmas cheer 3 by 5/8. And the designer serial paper for the outside, I'm doing Christmas card, but I'm using, I like the polka dot. It look kind of a snow on that. And this is the Daisy Delight. So any designer serial paper, this one, you will need 3 of them that measure 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. You will need 3 vellum sheet, or you can use acetate sheet, depends what you want. For the snow, I wanted the vellum, and that it's gonna be 4.78 by 2.78. So let's get started. And then also for the banner around the thing, this is in the Christmas cheer also. That measure, I'm using the full strip, so it is 12" by I want to say, now I'm blank here, let me double check that. It is 3/8 by 3/8. So 3/8, 12". It's a little bit too long, but it's better too long than too short. So let's get started with the triangle box itself. So what we're going to do, it's take, you're going to need like a score tool. I'm using my paper trimmer. So this is the 5.5 at the top, and you're going to score 1/2" on the long way here. So I think I'm going to pull you up a little bit, so I'm going to shake you up here a bit. Here we go. So we're going to score that at 1/2" on the long way. Turn this around, and we're going to score at 3. And we're going to score at 6. And we're going to score at 9. So it's 3, 6, 9 this way and 1/2" this way. Now this is done. We're going to put that aside for now. Now for the triangle itself, the bottom, we need a piece for the bottom. This one measure, like I said, it is 3 by 5.5. You want the longest piece at the top, so that is the 3 at the top, and we have to mark the center. The center of 3, it is 1.5. So you're going to mark this, and you're going to take your mark, leave it in the groove where it cut. You're going to bring the bottom point in the groove also. So we're going to cut this diagonal here. Put that mark that you get in at the bottom, cut. Remove this, turn it around, And do the same thing with the other point. Keep the center in the opening there, and the bottom there, the point in the opening. And we're going to cut this. Voila! You get your triangle that measure perfectly 3 by 3 inch all diameters. So the mat is done for you. You just have to follow the measurement I give you. The hard part was figuring out the mat. Now for the top of our box, we get the same piece here, but in the Christmas cheer, it is at 3. So we're going to mark it. I'm going to do it in the back, so I won't mark my beautiful paper that it's white and it would show. We're going to mark that at 1. And again, we're doing the same thing. The point, the center, cut, turn this around, and do the same thing. Now we're going to have the cover, or to cover the cover of the box. So now we get our triangle. We're going to move that. Now the next one, it's the tricky one, because that is the one that going to wrap. So we have to make that we're going to have the side. So this one, measure 4 7/8 by 4 1/4. You want the longest piece at the top, so that's the 4 7/8. 4 7/8, the center of 4 7/8, it's 2 7/16. So 7/16, that would be 8. 7/16 would be right there. Oops. It's just above the 2.5, to be honest. Just above the 2.5. We're going to have the mark there. And again, you're going to take your points with your point in the bottom and cut, turn it around, and cut again. Now we got a perfect triangle, but we have to make our side for the triangle. So what you're going to do is take the edge, put that at 1/2 inch mark, put that straight. You cannot go against this because it won't work. Right there. And we're going to score. We're going to do that on 3 corners. Here we go. And here we go. So now that we get this, we cannot just fold it, because I think I'm done with the score tool here. And the reason we cannot just fold this, because our point would mix match, you know, it won't fold. So what we have to do is take your scissors and from the score to the score, snip this off like this. So we're going to do all 3 sides, snip that off, that point, and snip this off. Now you're going to take a piece of paper, it doesn't matter. I want to look for a piece of white paper. Oh, I get a business card here that's going to work perfect. So it would be great if you take a pencil instead of a pen, so you won't have the mark. I don't have no pencil handy, so I will use a pen. Now I'm going to bring you down because I think you want to see a little bit closer. So you get the score line there. Bring a piece of cardstock or anything, a ruler, anything. Put that straight with your line, and right at where you get like an X, right at the center of the X, make your mark. And we have to do this on all 4, not 4, but 6 sides, really. So just go and mark, and gonna turn this and mark. So we have to have that to make this fold the correct way for our side of the triangle. This is the crucial part of to make a cover triangle. Just make sure you're right at the tip there. Here we go. I should have prepared one and just, here we go. And I got one more side. Now what we're going to do, it's we have to remove some parts so it can fold nicely. So you're going to go on the left side. So take your paper in your hand, and on the left side you're going to snip, and at the score snip that off. So you want that little triangle on the left side off. Turn it around on the left side, trim that off. Turn it around on the left side, remove that. So you should have 3 little kind of triangle there, remove. You should have this here. You see this? Okay, next step, where you get the other the other line, you have to score this. So you're going to bring this, put your finger there, and really it should line up perfectly with your score line. Right there. Now we're gonna I'm gonna use my bone folder here. And you want to do that on the 3. So never mind the score. Forget about that score. You want with the line that you marked there. And really, it should line up right at the edge of your long score. Here we go. So, oops. I twist that. So now we pretty much have our box. I bet you can see it, or our cover I should say. Now you're going to take your score line and reinforce this. And anything 3D or dimensional paper project, it's very important. I get some glue here. It's very important to reinforce those score line. That's make it a big difference when you come to assemble. Now that I got this, what you want to do is put the glue and put this in. See? So for this one, I like to use Tombow glue. I think Tombow glue gives you the chance to move, thing around if you're not straight on the first shot. So we're going to take this, put glue there. And I put glue on the inside tab there. The tab is going to go inside, not on the outside. So just bring this and just make a nice point there. And I just going to hold that a little bit so it bond together. And this one. This one seam off a bit. Don't worry about that. We're going to fix that. So now just take this and squeeze that a bit there. Okay. Now you see a little bit I'm off just a tiny bit. So what I'm going to do here is just take my scissors and not sweat over the little thing. Just snip this a little bit here. So it's flush together. At first you want to make sure it's glued right though. Get a bit of glue in my cover there. I'm going to make sure it's off. Here we go. So if some of it is just, you just snap that off and it's no biggie. Here we go. So now that we get that, the piece that we cut in the Christmas chair going to go at the top. See, it fit perfectly fine. And again, I like to use a Tombow because if I'm not just right, it gives me the chance to move it around. Just make sure you get some on the edge so it won't peel up. That's why I get glue. I should have my silicone mat. Let me pull this up here and then I take my bone folder here we go. Just make sure the edge is here we go. Now the strip that I told you about, the 12" by what was it, 3/8? Yeah, 3/8. Turn that around and use the tear and tape. And We need about 10-inch, but this is tricky. I say 12-inch because it's easier to just take the strip and we're going to cut the excess off. So I just leave a bit without the tape there. Okay, just here we go. I got my tear and tape. We're going to remove this part here. Here we go. And I like to start on the side here, like go about, I would say, ½ inch. Oh, my hand got the shakes this morning. Here we go. And let's go around. When you go on the side, just press that art so you get a nice crisp fold. Here, I get a little bit here. Here we go. Okay, at the end, we're going to cut it right at the edge though. Okay, now make sure this is lined up correctly on top of each other. Here we go. Got a nice crisp fold here. You just pinch it a little bit. Now, take your scissors and go right at the edge. Et voila, my friend, you get the cover. That is the hardest part of this project, and voila, it is done, my friend. Now, let's do the box. So the box, we did all our score. What we're going to do, it's at each, this is the bottom score here. You're going to cut, just go diagonal a bit, like this. So we're going to remove that center score to the score there. And make sure they don't go to each other. You want to add quite a bit. I would say almost ½ inch like this. Here we go. And then the next one. And then the last one there, where you get that square, you want to remove that completely. And this, cut a little tab off, and also over here to the score line. Okay, at the bottom you got ½ inch score and on the side. Now, what you're going to do, is take your designer series paper, and you would glue this to the top, and that you want to really have plenty of glue because we're going to do window, and you don't want by the window to open. So what I mean by that, see, I cover pretty much my entire piece of designer series paper, and I would put that over here. Oops, get back here. Well, a good thing I'm not using this one today. Let's see what we can do about this here. So that's what I like about Tombow. It's forgiving. And then I could always take an eraser, a glue eraser, and just remove this here where I went on the side off. So now you would do this to the 3 sides. Okay? To speed up the process, I got one going. Well, I'm using the framelits. Here we go. We're going to use 3 on this window. And this, it's the layer, seasonal layer tinlets. So I'm going to bring the big shot. Oops. And I did the other one because it's all the same. I did 2 in each. It's no reason for me to do all 3, right? One, you're going to get the hang of it. So I'm going to put my window, not my window, but my tinlets on top. One thing you don't want to go more than ½ inch on the side, and the reason why it's because that's where it's going to get mounted. So I'm going to put one there, one over there, and one over there. This one I'm putting 3 because I want it to be like the front, because we're going to have lights in there. Take your, and I'm using the precision plate. So I got my regular platform, my thin die adapter, the precision plate, and then my clear plate at the top. And we're going to roll this through. And I'm going to come back. Okay, let's remove this. We're done with the big shot. I'm going to make sure it's cut all the way. You know what? Oh, too late now. I will run it one more time in the big shot just to make sure one don't look cut all the way. So let me run this in the big shot. You want to make sure, because we're going through all those layers here. Here we go. So really I went 3 times. It's just that you get the cardstock plus the designer series paper, so you want to make sure that it is cut all like this one seam. We're going to make it work though, because really we just need the window here. Let's push that through. Because we're going to have another, a different color die on top of this. So, I mean, if you can save it for another project, it's great. If not, no sweat. Here we go. So now we got our window. They're kind of big, right? But I wanted, oops. Those little pieces need to come off here. Let me peel that up. Here we go. So now that we get that, you want to take your, I'm still seeing that little piece. I bet you guys don't see it, but it's bugging me. Here we go. Now that we get that, I can bring you down because we're done with the big shot. You're going to take the vellum that measure, the vellum measure 478 by 278. We're going to take that and glue that in the back of it. And you see I put plenty of glue. And again, I am using the Tombow. And you want to make sure that you do like the little corner there so it don't peel up. So that's where I start. So I just do my little corner there. So you're going to do that on all 3 sides of this here. You can do as many snowflakes as you want, or whatever opening that you want. It's no right and wrong. And the other box that I show you, we skip all those steps because I didn't put no window. Here we go. Now let's put our vellum on top of this. Just make sure it's pushed all the way. Voila. Now you're going to decide, I cut extra one. Some it's in the Dazzling Diamond paper. Some it's in the Tranquil. And some of it I just, I won't use this one. So I just rotate them the way that, I mean, mix and match them. Just decide where I want them. And then the little one here. Here we go. So now to glue them, the best thing is I just did like the little point there. I could have used the adhesive sheet. I didn't think about it till now. I'm doing the glue. Really, if you use the adhesive sheet, it would be much faster. Just peel the adhesive sheet and you would be ready to go. Make sure I don't have no little piece, because that's going to raise it up. So just a little bit here and there. And then we're going to glue that right in here. Et voila. And then you could even, you know what, I'm leaving this one plain. I think that's going to look plain. I'm going to have more light. So this is going to be the front of my box. Because you still can see it's a snowflake. No detail there, but I think I'm going to have more light there. I think that's going to be just right. Okay, press that good. Voila. So now what we're going to do is finish our box that it's super quick and easy, super quick. The only thing when I do a box, usually I leave it flat. It's easier to assemble. But in this case, we cannot leave it flat because we don't have 4 sides. We just got 3 sides. So just put, you can use fast fuse or you can use tear and tape. I'm just using Tombow because, like I said, Tombow give me a chance to move things around. So bring that to the side. Okay, I put my hand under there. Here we go. Hope you can see what I'm doing here. Sometimes it's hard to be in the camera and okay. Now you can use your bone folder and push it inside to really bond that glue together. So I can see that I didn't have enough glue on the side. Well, we will fix that. I'm using the fine tip glue, but in my fine tip glue, I put some Tombow because I like to work with Tombow. So this for me, it's a lifesaver. When my fine tip glue was empty, I just add some Tombow in my container. Here we go. Now I get a nice crisp finish. Just squeeze this good to the side here. Here we go. Now it's time to do the bottom of our box that we already cut or did our triangle. So you're going to close this. See why we needed to take so much on the side? Because it have to be fit. If the side of it, this side just cut more, because you cannot have, you know, it's going to stop the box of folding. Now what the best thing for me that I find is put a dot of glue there, and then I'm going to put glue just on this part here. Make sure this one it's stay there. Okay. Take your triangle. See, it fit perfect. Okay, flip this around. Take your bone folder or something tall. Voila. Now, I got those little fairy light here that I put in the other one. In my big one, you can take those little lights and put this in, or you can use a little battery tea light too. I just like the fairy tale light better, those little, because they're more bright than those little tea light. My little tea light didn't have enough power or something, so I like the little et voila. See how cute that is? I don't know how much I'm gonna shed some light here. Here we go. So now you can see the light through it, but then you don't see the thing. And then another thing that I did, it's use some of those snowflake, and like I'm gonna put a few raised up snowflake on my box. So this is one with the tea light. I wish that, I think you can see all, it's so pretty. So and you can put some on the top, whatever that you prefer, and see how it fit very nicely. And then this is the one without the tea light, and this is the 3-inch triangle box. Again, I'm Franz Martin. Most people know me as Frenchie from FrenchieStamps.com. Thank you so much, and have a great day, my friend. Bye bye for now.